On a warm evening in the 1970s, the lights of The Tonight Show starring Johnny Carson glowed brighter than usual. The audience buzzed with excitement, but also curiosity. Rumors had spread that John Wayne had just returned from a quiet journey through Mexico and parts of Latin America, and that something about the trip had changed him. Crescent. When Johnny Carson welcomed him onto the stage, the applause thundered like a festival in a village plaza. Yet the Duke walked slowly, his boots heavier than anyone had ever seen before. He tipped his hat politely, but his smile carried sadness behind it. Johnny noticed immediately. "Duke," he said gently, "you look like a man who left something behind." John Wayne sat down, rested his hands on his knees, and stared for a moment at the stage floor. "I did, Johnny," he replied quietly. "I left a piece of my heart in Latin America." The audience fell silent. Wayne began telling a story, not of movies or fame, but of a small mountain village in northern Mexico where he had stayed during his travels. There, he met a young boy named Mateo who reminded him of his own childhood, brave, proud, and full of dreams despite poverty. "He didn't know who I was," Wayne said with a faint smile. "Didn't care either." The crowd laughed softly. "But he showed me something," Wayne continued. "He showed me what courage looks like when there's no camera around." Mateo's father had passed away, and the boy worked every day carrying water uphill to support his mother and sisters. Yet every evening, he still found time to play guitar in the dusty village square. Guitar. "He told me," Wayne said, his voice shaking slightly, "Señor, heroes aren't the men in movies. Heroes are the men who stay when life gets hard." Johnny Carson leaned forward. "What happened to him?" Wayne swallowed. "He asked me if America remembered villages like his." The audience grew quiet again. "I didn't know what to say," Wayne admitted. "For the first time in my life, Johnny, I didn't have lines to speak." He paused, his eyes glistening under the studio lights. "So I promised him something," Wayne said. "I promised I'd come back not as a movie star but as a friend." Johnny smiled warmly. "Sounds like he changed you." Wayne nodded slowly. "I played cowboys my whole life," he said, "but down there I met real heroes." For a moment, the studio audience didn't clap. They simply sat in silence, absorbing the honesty of a man they had always seen as larger than life. Then softly at first, and then like a rising mariachi celebration, the applause filled the room. Clapping musical. Johnny Carson looked at him and said quietly, "Tonight, Duke, I think America met a different kind of John Wayne." And for the first time that evening, the old cowboy smiled, not like a legend on a stage, but like a traveler who had finally learned something important about the world and himself. Globe sparkles.